The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
Great.
I was just bringing Rusty some coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan.
Skeleton of a Colombian mammoth, the specimen estimated to be 14,000 years old, was recovered from the La Brea tar pits in 1981. It was donated to the Elderwood National Park in 1998 when the Colombian mammoth became Washington state fossil. Named Bucktooth Charlie since it has become the park's official mascot.
Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do you
and
understand what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're
wait
buying
here.
yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure.
Oh, poor
happened?
puppy.
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Hell, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky. Max is still groggy from the shot I gave him, and I'd rather not leave him alone just yet. The form's on the desk across from the mammoth skeleton.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No, this whole thing, listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
If we went to talk to the cops, there wouldn't be much story, would there?
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too. If you have any trouble finding it, just keep your eyes on the radio mast. It's right below that. Oh, and hey, if you take a walk in the woods, watch your steps so you don't end up like Max. I guess I'm a little worried. We got a bunch of campers out there we haven't heard from. It's not like these people are on a schedule, but with the traps, well, you know. I just don't want any trouble.
Right, thanks.
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. What was it? If there's no proof, it's pure bullshit. Period.
Guess the laugh's on me then.
Al, come on! I mean, okay. Okay, maybe something weird happened to you, okay?
Well, thanks for the heartfelt vote of confidence.
All I'm saying is you gotta throw me a bone here, bestseller. What would you think if it was me? There's no way you should be going out at midnight with a gun.
No one...
All right, Barry. Enough of that.
That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her! This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. But you're my best friend and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
It's a nice little cabin.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
Ooh, switch on lights. Lights on. Yes, lights on. All right, so we have 7 batteries. We have less batteries than we started out with last time, huh? Okay. 7 batteries. Do I have bullets? Check around the outside first. Thermos. Hot tub. Nice.
I'll wait here, Al. I'll hold down the fort. I'll be with you in spirit every step of the way, Al. Walk through the door now.
Freaking crows.
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
So we lost all our stuff, huh?
I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
Oh, you can get in here. Yay, lights.
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
Oh.
No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
Oh, tell me about it. No sack race for us older gentlemen, huh?
Yes, exactly that.
What
But
the-
I'm going to check out the parade, of course. And I'll be one of the pie contest judges, too.
What the heck was that?
Well, that takes a different kind of constitution.
Oh, yeah, it's my kind of exercise.
Now, Doc, seriously, you're in pretty good shape.
You're the outdoors type. I know for a
This
fact.
kid gets shot through the window.
That's right. Matter of fact, just caught a heck of a largemouth bass early this morning.
Man, that scared me.
You're not taking part in the fishing contest?
No, not this year. See, Matt, I'm just not that competitive anymore. No, I just like to take my time. Enjoy the It's no fun.
I kind of wish it was one of those things you could keep listening to it while you're moving. So I do want to listen to them all, but... heck was that? Now I'm nervous about going into these cabins. Somebody's gonna take a shot at me. I don't enjoy my evening radio program. Lover's Peak, Moonshine Cave, Elderwood Nature Trail. Find some more bullets. This is another episode.
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization. But some crimes are impossible to punish. Especially
In
Night Springs.
Night Springs.
Tonight's episode. The Man in the Mirror.
He's inside, Agent. He's a weird one.
So, you're confessing to killing that guy, huh? Why?
Had it coming?
Yeah, but why would you do that? I mean, you're a nice guy. Normal. Took a kid to a soccer game. So how come at the game, you pick a guy and, quoting from the arresting officer's report here, assault the victim's head area repeatedly with the weapon of choice being a pair of bare fists? Wow, that sentence really flows, huh? Maybe you're not the literary type. Okay, so you mess him up. But why? Who was that guy? We couldn't ID him. Why would a guy like you do him like that?
I didn't like his face?
Well, you must have hated it, because you really went to town there. I mean, there's no way to tell what he looked like. No ID on him either.
That must be difficult.
But then we ran the fingerprints. Got a match. Your prints. Identical.
Huh, how about that?
Your son said you were wearing a white shirt when you took him to the game. But the white shirt is on the dead guy.
It's plenty red now.
You won't get away with this.
Do you really think that's in any way relevant to me? I had plenty of time to talk to my boy before the cops arrived, you know? He won't stop screaming, am I right? You think he's ever gonna be okay? I left my mark. Believe me.
You bastard.
What? You gonna shoot me? What's the point? I'm going to prison. You got me.
I don't understand any of this.
And you never will. Don't worry. Maybe you'll see me again, Agent. Maybe in the mirror.
All right, weird. Oh wait, just notice that. Is it a rug or a bloodstain? Weird. Okay. Who's in charge of maintaining these cabins? Do not feed the wildlife.
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the prince of her dreams, and that tended to underline the unbearable truth. She was no closer to that Hollywood magic than he was. The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. "Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page."
Ooh.
Vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me! Anybody? Help me!
Dang.
Help me!
Rusty, come on, Rusty.
Can you hear me?
Hang on.
Anyone? Please help!
Are we back at the visitor center?
Me.
Yes, we are.
Hello? Back here. I'm back here.
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened.
Oh, poor Max. All right. Lights on. Jeez. You.
Shh. Good boy.
You need some first aid? Sit in the office. Really not much. Get the lights on. Oh, maybe okay. We gotta flip the. Okay, so this is the office. Ranger office.
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on. At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe.
Got a anything here. Oh yeah, here we go. Battery, ammo. Oh!
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
Rusty!
Jeez. Come on, Rusty.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness. The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way, felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone.
Weird.
Hunters need hunting licenses.
Oh! Where'd that shadow go? Come on, Max. Oh, Rusty, where'd you go? Jeez, I just...
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
Oh, is the mammoth still there? Yes, okay, good.
Please don't feed the animals. Fishing is only permitted for those visitors who purchase a park fishing license. Obey the park ranger's instructions at all times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Never approach closer than 100 yards. Two bears and wolves never approach any other wildlife closer than 25 yards. Pets must be leashed at all times. Never leave your pet unattended. It is against the law to remove any natural objects or historical artifacts from the park grounds.
Rusty?
This includes even rocks you may
What are you doing back there, buddy?
or even simple berries.
Missing a few pages? Yeah, we'll see if we end up like going back to... I feel like... Oh. I thought I felt like I found a lot of pages in the first episode, but we're missing a bunch of them. Probably well hidden. Oh yeah, ammo box. Yeah, I feel like when they get taken by the shadows, they just go... It amplifies their existing personality in like a totally evil way. Okay. I don't know. Maybe because I have the flashlight. I'm not sure why. I'm protected by the light. Doing stuff around the house.
I saw from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy.
Alright, bud, sounds good.
I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
And keep the lights on.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it
Or
off.
Rusty.
Now she never would.
You really do not want me to feed the animals. All right.
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
To Lover's Peak. Oh, there's a light bulb. Battery. You guys must be all the missing campers and hikers, huh? Oh, guy behind me. It's interesting, when you replace the batteries, it doesn't put the flashlight back to 100%.
Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, Barry and Al rarely saw eye to eye.
Oh, let's see. Any ammo here? batteries on this truck. Oh, guys are so sneaky. Get our health back in the light, hopefully. Ooh, that was very close, man. We were down to the wire. Shotgun, okay. Is this not Lover's Peak? Oh, I guess it must be higher. Not dodging at the right time. You know, I'm going to take a quick break here. Hide in the old one. I'll be back in just a minute.